15.
Very few double faults from Edberg in the tournament. He has control over that serve now. He used to serve more double faults in the earlier stages of his career. From memory, he used to miss-hit a lot of balls on his serve, but he doesn't seem to do that so much now. Well, is this a nervous start from the Wimbledon champion? 2 double faults. Well, that's the good movement we've seen from Edberg throughout the week.
Yeah, and there's that classic backhand volley, probably the best backhand volley in the game today. But it's good play from Lendl, letting Edberg know that he will use that lob during this match. Well, an excellent return of serve because that one was right into the body. Lendl still able to generate a lot of power on the return.
I thought that was going out then. Edberg mishit the volley.
Well, the pass from Lendl was certainly mishit as well, and I think this threw Edberg off. He was a little out in front. He thought the ball was coming a little harder. This one here is slightly mishit, a high floater.
Foot fault. Edberg touching the line before he hit the ball. Saw him called a few times yesterday with that.
Out. Advantage Edberg.
So a shaky start by Ed. Ivan Lendl down love 1, first set.
The shot Edberg uses a lot, that high floating forehand. What he's trying to do is to get Lendl to back off, and on the next ball he'll approach, but he missed that forehand.
13. Out. 14 love.
Well, Lendl a little more confident on serve than Edberg in the opening stages. from Lendl. 1-1, first set.
1 game all.
I've heard of a foot fault, but a tire fault? Goodyear Days of Thunder deals. Check out these winning tire deals. Very funny. Goodyear small car tires only $57. So it's my fault if I don't see Goodyear now. Okay, good call, Goodyear.
One game all in this semi-final.
Love 15.
Ivan really taking this on the rise. He was able to get that one nice and low and got the angle.
Ah! 15 all.
Stefan Edberg has had his best year in professional tennis this year, winning 6 tournaments. And of course, the big one at Wimbledon.
Thirty 15.
Edberg, the nerves have left the Swede. He wrapped the ball around the frame a few times in that first service game.
Well, the serve there from Edberg pulling Lendl wide, and Edberg going for a little too much. He was worried about the Lendl speed getting back and covering that shot.
Edberg holds to lead 2-1 in the first set. Trailing 2-1 first set.
15 love.
Well, both players still trying to find the range, sort each other out here in these early games.
The last time these two met, Edberg was victorious at Wimbledon.
Game left. Two games on.
That was a thunderbolt from Lendl. Very experienced finalists, these two. Ivan Lendl has been in 133 finals in major tournaments. 47 for Edberg.
Oh. 15 love.
That's the wing that Lendl would be hoping to break down here this afternoon, the forehand of Edberg. He has a grip which is a continental grip, and the ball can float.
Still struggling with the timing off the ground, Ivan.
There's the grip of Lendl towards the backhand.
Ball.
See the pressure there from Lendl's return, I think, bringing some double faults here from Edberg. He realises that if he doesn't put in a good serve, Lendl is going to really tee up on it. That was the case there, see, the short second serve, and Lendl able to move forward.
It's really the first return that Ivan has hit in the middle. He was able to get that one to dip quickly.
Juice.
You can see on that last return, Ivan really didn't keep his head down over the ball. Pulled up very quickly.
Advantage Edberg.
Edberg's the man that's struggling on serve in the match at this stage. Just saved a break point, as you saw. But at the moment, he's hanging on. Well, that's seeing an opening and going for it.
Well, that really isn't the percentage shot. Most players would come back across court with this one. Going down the line, very low percentage shot, but caught Edberg looking for the forehand.
Oh, brilliant pass.
Yeah, well, Ivan anticipated the cross-court backhand volley. He was well on the move before Edberg had finished his volley. That was the key to it. The return wasn't a good one. He got a jump on Edberg there.
Break point again. And that's it. So the first break to Lendl in the match. He leads 3-2. Ivan Lendl was first on court at the change of ends, or after the change of ends, and why wouldn't he be? He has the break in this first set. 3-2. And Edberg just struggling on serve. Well, the volley that's been so good for Edberg during the week, letting him down, but the first serve has been letting him down also. There you are, look at that. Only early days, but 38% in. That's poor. Lendl high, 88%.
30.
I think one of the reasons that Edberg's serve is so low at this stage is that he's not hitting the big kicker like he normally likes to do, and that's probably because of the surface that they're playing on. This surface really doesn't allow the ball to jump as such as on clay or grass. So he's hitting it a little bit flatter, not as much kick, and therefore the percentages are not there.
40 love. Game Lendl.
Well, an easy one for Lendl to consolidate the break to lead 4-2.
Lendl leads 4 games to 2.
And last night, an interesting thing happened in the doubles. Edberg's form started to go off, and they would struggle through to win against the Australian Davis Cup pair of Kale and Kratzmann, 7-6 in the third. But Lendl was really the solid player in that doubles match.
15 love.
And yet earlier in the week it had been Edberg in the absolutely devastating form in the early rounds of the tournament. And maybe he has just peaked a little too soon.
$15 all. $30-15. $40-15.
Well, that's the key to good service games for Edberg. He must get that first service in. Lendl with a devastating return. And he did it. He's got the first serve in then to hold serve, but Lendl has the break, 4-3. New racket for Lendl. He leads 4-3 first set. New restring and new grip anyway, not necessarily new frame.
See that ball just shooting through on Lendl. Normally you don't get too many bad bounces on a surface such as this.
As I was saying about Lendl's racket, every time he changes ends when there is a new ball change, he changes his racket to a brand new restring, and the racket is new gripped as well. And that's all he plays with the racket, just the 9 games with the new balls. And then the racket gets sent back to America to be restrung.
Love 30.
You're going to leave it, or? What's the points in the row?
Is Ivan a bit concerned about the machine, the line?
I think that's what he's talking about, yes.
with that call, appealing to the linesperson.
Yes, well, you don't really see Stefan complain too often. This forehand from Lendl hit with tremendous pace. He really did accelerate the racket head through that.
It's already been 4 match balls within 8 games.
It's the most I've ever heard Stefan talk on a court.
Well, the player's just losing a bit of concentration here and a bit of confidence in the calling. Yes, there's the machine there that calls the service line. It has an electronic beam, goes across the court. And Lendl has been unhappy with a couple of calls on that service line. Well, Edberg going to appeal again here.
And Ivan's coming up to look at another mark. No, he's straightening the net, but Stefan clearly upset with the base linesman here. It's been two very close calls on big, vital points.
How do you think I'm going to win this match and keep making all these calls?
The pressure's right on the lines people too, because the ball is being hit so hard by these two men. They hit the ball harder than just about anybody else in the world. And of course, when the ball's so close to the line, it really is a tough call. But then, of course, the officials here have chosen their best lines people. There it is, 5-3 Lendl. They've been umpiring and calling the lines all week, and no doubt they have their best squad out there today.
Well, that was excellent serving from Lendl on big points. He was able to produce the big first serve, get the 2 free points.
Well, if that isn't rubbing salt in the wound, I don't know what is. That's the same line that Stefan's been complaining about getting bad calls. Now he gets a foot fault against him. That's the serve you were talking about earlier, Tony, about how he's trying not to kick it up, because Lendl likes the high forehand.
Yes, this one's really right where Ivan likes it. And full credit to Edberg. He's had some tough calls and then called with a foot fault.
Oh, it's in! What a shot! That is unbelievable.
Well, this is Lendl at his best. The return was a good one. Cramped Edberg. There's the classic backhand volley. This was a poor one. He tried to get that one low across court. Edberg didn't quite do enough with it, but what an unbelievable shot, hitting it around the right side of the ball and curling that in.
Well, if that's not the shot of the year,
6 games to 3.
the previous one, I haven't seen it. That's the first set to Lendl, 6-3. Welcome back to the start of the second set here at the Uncle Toby's Australian Indoors. Ivan Lendl in just over 30 minutes, winning it at 6-3. 2 breaks a serve, magnificent ground strokes in that last game. Lendl to serve. Out.
15 love.
Well, Ivan is really mixing up his
13 love.
first serve very well. He's going the backhand, then the forehand. He really has Edberg in 2 minds every time he goes to return serve.
Well, there's confidence from Lendl, playing the drop volley.
Well, this is
14
a
love.
shot Ivan loves to play. He hits them all the time in practice, which drives me crazy. He really shouldn't have won that point. Edberg should have made a better pass at that.
Well, that's a fabulous shot from Edberg, the half volley too.
40-15.
Unbelievable angle on the forehand. Topspin backhand. Lendl had to play that shot because he wasn't far enough in. He was in no man's land.
Game Lendl.
Ivan Lendl particularly strong when he's in front, and he is so confident playing all the shots. Leads 1 love, second set. Stefan Edberg at a most critical time in the match for him. Love 1, second set. And I say critical because Lendl, having won that first set, has just risen 50% in confidence. He's playing all the shots in the book, and Edberg has to stem the tide here.
15 love.
Very important from Edberg's point of view to hold this service game. Tony Pickard, Edberg's coach, looking concerned, and well he might, because Lendl is a confident player at the moment. Sympathetic applause for Edberg. The crowd pretty evenly divided here at the moment between the 2 players, both popular in Sydney. Did notice on the way into the arena today some young girls all dressed up in the Swedish colours. There they are.
When you see Lendl start playing that shot, you know he's seeing the ball pretty well and feeling very confident.
Out. 40-15.
They called Borg the Iceman. I tell you what, this fella's pretty calm. So Edberg stays calm under pressure.
1 game all.
1-1, second set.
Lendl taking that serve very early. The forehand from Edberg. A little sloppy with the footwork there, Lendl. Really didn't get across to it to be able to play the big forehand that he likes to play.
Point from Lendl. Edberg just looks at him. He can't believe that he got that shot back and back on the line.
Of course, Edberg made the error of not hitting that ball in the air. It allowed Lendl to get right back into the point.
Edberg walking to the wrong side of the court there. I think he's a bit stunned here by the speed of foot of Lendl and the shots that he can come up with from desperate situations.
Come on.
15 all.
We've talked about Edberg's mobility around the court this week and said how good it's been. And Tony, you must be pleased with Lendl's movement.
Oh, yes, he's one of the quickest guys on the tour. He really does work hard at that side of his game.
You talk about movement too. Lendl 5 kilo heavier than Edberg.
Caught Lendl here. Ivan thought he was staying on the baseline.
30 all.
Once Lendl went into hit that backhand, he crept in behind it. Normally Lendl would hit that ball harder and lower if he knew Edberg was coming in.
Out. 30-40.
Shows on the face. It's a break point against Lendl.
So Ivan taking the net away from Edberg here. It was an excellent point. This is a tough overhead right here. It was a good one from Edberg, nice and deep.
Well, the depth of the Lendl ground strokes really winning that point for him.
Yes, he had Edberg off balance after this first big forehand here. He really never recovered from that one.
Game Lendl.
So Lendl saving a break point. Now leads 2-1, second set.
Well, certainly Lendl, Tony's been serving the better of the two players. In fact, all round looks more confident. Edberg hasn't had a lot of depth on his ground strokes thus far, and Lendl certainly made him pay for that mistake.
Just the power of that return forcing the error from Edberg. Normally Edberg well out in front with the volleys. That time he was caught hitting it off his hip.
Oh, great shot from Lendl, really dispatching that with consummate ease.
15-13.
Tony, here's the Edberg service. It seems to me he's not bending the arm very much at the back. He's using a lot of wrist. From this point here, it's pretty stiff, and then the last minute, a lot of wrist snap.
Normally Stefan serves with a lot more kick and bite on his serve, and I just feel that on this particular surface he's trying to flatten it out a little, trying to go with the pace, because this court really doesn't react to any type of spin.
Well, there's a let-off there for Edberg, a second serve and an uncharacteristically poor return from Lendl. So there's a better serve from Edberg. He's holding on. 2-all, second set.
2 games on.
We Swedes are high school when it comes to tennis, but the Goodyear days of Thunder deals, well, umpire, I'm nearly beside myself. Medium car tires from $79. Wow. Sorry, please take me to Goodyear before I lose my cool totally.
So Ivan really giving Edberg's forehand plenty of work during that point.
Tony, that's power hitting from the back of the court from Lendl. He really is growing in confidence.
30 love.
And just to back up Tony's comments, the Edberg forehand letting him down 12-6.
The interesting thing about that stat is that Edberg is not trying to do a lot with his forehand. He's still making those errors, whereas Lendl is really going out after his forehand.
Well, another wayward forehand from the Swede, but also in the middle of that rally, it was a short Edberg forehand that allowed Lendl to take charge of that point. (40-15).
Good length.
Well, there you heard the Swede say good length sarcastically. It's hurting him. Lendl leading 3-2, second set. I think it was a glass on the back of the court.
Love it.
Edberg looking a little frustrated, Tony.
Yes, he doesn't normally make those unforced errors on the volley, but there's the forehand winners, and Lendl well out in front there, 7-2.
Oh, that's a magnificent return. Edberg's best service, hit back with unbelievable power.
Well, this is back before Edberg really has completed his follow-through on the serve. This serve had plenty on it. It was a big point, love 30. Nice and deep.
I've seen a couple of those this week on this plexi-paved surface. Perhaps that one just took the line, skidded through.
Good lunging volley here from Edberg. This was a little harder than what it looked. Really had to stretch for it. The lob from Lendl just too short.
Well, Edberg now in desperate trouble. Again, striving for a little much on the second serve. So fearful is he of the Lendl return of serve. That's wide, so the break in the second set goes Lendl's way. He's marching on, 4-2.
Lendl leads 4-2.
It's a volley that Edberg doesn't normally like to play. He likes to hit his backhand volley back across court. Ivan knows that, and probably just staying in that side of the court a little longer than necessary, making Edberg go for that off volley.
surface. You'll hear the players' footwork on it. It's quite an abrasive surface. Good traction, though. And a surface, obviously, that Ivan Lendl likes very much. He is the defending champion here. Well, Edberg not quite out of this match yet.
He finally gets hold of a forehand here. That's a good one. It had good pace, good angle. Really set up the point. All he has to do there is just play a nice, solid slice backhand into the open court.
Gee, well, Edberg will be very disappointed with his approach backhand. He really did nothing with it.
No, Ivan's shot very short. Normally, Edberg would approach with a slice. I'm sure he's sorry he didn't there. He really wanted that one to stay low.
Lendl disappointed, but I think finally Edberg getting a call on the baseline to go his way. He's had a couple of dubious ones.
Yeah, good approach here. Lendl going with the favourite shot down the line. And it did appear to be just deep. But good pressure play there from Edberg.
So Edberg, yet to break the Lendl service in this match, has perhaps his best opportunity to date.
Edberg just a little too upright there on that forehand. Didn't get down to the ball. Didn't stay with it.
Lendl, as usual, very ritualistic.
Well, that was what Ivan was after. He wanted the big serve, he wanted the short return, and then to get in behind it. Everything went to plan, closing very quickly here. That was important that he moved forward to that very quickly, because that could have been a dangerous one.
So the break point opportunities snuffed out here by Lendl. There's a gentleman right behind. There he is there behind Lendl's line of vision. Lendl too good. The service power again, setting up the point.
Advantage Lendl.
Yeah, he had Edberg off balance right from the first serve, getting that big first serve in. He controlled the point well from there on in, finishing it with the big overhead. The big forehand from Edberg during the middle of this point really had Lendl on the ropes. And just an easy put away in the end, but some big ground strokes from Edberg there.
So a must game here for Edberg. He's threatened the Lendl service, but to this point hasn't been able to break through. So Edberg just keeping the ball going a little longer now. Third break point opportunity here in this game. Serve from Lendl, so Edberg finally mounts a challenge. He's trailing 4-3, second set. Oh, it's good. The perfect miss hit there from Lendl.
Long 15.
Yes, when in doubt, you must hit these. See if Edberg had a good look at it and then realised after that ball had passed him that it was going to drop well in.
That's too good. Edberg's serve was almost on the line and Lendl hammered it back.
Long 13.
Yeah, well, the option that he had on the final forehand pass was the key. The return was a good one. Here, Lendl had three options: down the line, cross court, or the lob.
Love 30.
Oh! 15-13.
So the volley errors 9 to Edberg, 1 to Lendl, but of course Edberg spending a lot more time at the net, but I think more errors today through the power hitting of Lendl. That's caused those errors. Sensational touch here from Lendl.
Well, it's good to see Ivan go in on this point. It's a big point. He hits that shot well. That was a good recovery from Edberg. Didn't try and do too much with it.
Magnificent touch. So now Lendl, a chance to go ahead 5-3.
$30-14.
Edberg, perhaps his biggest and best serve of the match.
Got two big serves from 15-40.
Advantage Edberg.
Well, it was perilously close to the baseline, but it's called good.
4 games all.
So Edberg fighting back.
Yeah, the volley wasn't hit that clean. Edberg really was trying to get a little more angle on that one. Very close to the baseline. May have been in because Lendl hurried his shot at the last moment, and that's an indication that it could have shot off the line.
So the crowd now becoming pretty vocal. They've got their favourites. Lendl's fourth ace.
It's your call again. This part long. It was long. He is not calling it though.
Well, the call there was actually made by the side linesman. Lendl saying that it in fact wasn't wide, it was long, and there was no call coming from the baseline person. So have a look for yourself. There's the sideline linesman. He was the one who made the call. 30 love.
14. Game Lendl.
So no signs of panic from Lendl.
leads
He
5
coolly
games to 4.
plays an excellent service game. He leads 5-4, second set. And we've mentioned already that Edberg's missed more volleys this afternoon than he normally would, but that return from Lendl hit with so much power, so low over the net, that's what's causing the problems.
Out.
15 all. Thank you. Quiet, please.
The third time in this match, Edberg's been foot faulted.
Thirty 15.
No flash, Richard. Please, there was one again.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. No flash photography during flight.
Oh, tremendous angle on that serve, wide to the backhand.
40 15.
Swedish connection, likes it. Well, there's that backhand cross-court volley that Edberg prefers.
It just hit short and with penetration. Lendl having couldn't cover enough ground to get to that one. The angle was too good.
5-all.
Love 15.
So Edberg winning one of the baseline exchanges that we would normally expect Lendl to prevail on.
Good play from Edberg, because Lendl was hanging in the backhand side after running around to hit this forehand here. He got himself out of position slightly. Edberg took full advantage of that with a big backhand down the line.
Well, Edberg certainly growing in confidence.
Love 14.
Classic backhand of both players here. Lendl coming over this one after slicing the previous one. Edberg just being helped by the net, but it was going to be a winner anyhow.
Break points. Oh, that's the way to save break point with ace number 5 right on the line.
15-14.
That's long. So has the tide turned? When we come back, it'll be Edberg serving for the second set at 6-5.
Once Edberg gets in and plays a good, solid first volley, very difficult to win the point from here. He's got control of the net. You've really got to come up with a super shot.
A little tension there, perhaps, from Edberg, just snatching at the volley.
30-15.
Well, Ivan getting caught there. He's probably expecting a serve to the backhand side. Really didn't move his feet at all to that forehand.
Oh, too good. Lendl cool under pressure. Took his time.
Yes, he held the shot very well. Good return here, nice and low. Edberg made quite a good volley of that. You see Lendl really leaving that till the last moment, just flicking the wrist over the ball.
Oh, what a shot from Lendl.
Unbelievable feel to be able to play this shot on the full run. Here, this one here, just getting to it and guiding that one back across in front of Edberg.
Well, that was the only shot perhaps that was going to win that point, and Lendl made it. A chance to break back. Oh, another magnificent return, and Lendl likes it. So Edberg serving for the set didn't do a lot wrong.
Well, three unbelievable points. The top spin lob, the angled backhand, and then the ripped backhand return.
Well, that's got to give Edberg something to think about now. This tie break, the winner, if it's Edberg, will take him to a third set. If it's Lendl, it takes him into the final.
One 0 Lendl. One all.
Well, the Edberg serve from midway through the second set has improved. His fans think so as well. So the tie break still on serve. Lendl, 1-2.
Two all.
Tremendous dink there from Lendl.
It was very important that Ivan get quite a lot of pace on this shot here, because Edberg was closing quickly. Both players getting down there. Edberg felt Lendl was in trouble, but he really did get good pace on that shot.
So still the tie break on serve. Edberg trailing 2-3. First player, of course, to reach 7 points with a margin of 2 will take the tie break. Players change ends at the conclusion of every set of 6 points. Well, a pushy forehand there from Edberg gives the first break of this tie break to Lendl.
Yes, he really didn't move his feet at all on that forehand. He had no weight going into the shot.
Edberg's got the break back in this tiebreaker.
Yeah, the interesting thing is to see how far Lendl is back behind the baseline. This is where he gets into trouble. You're not going to hit any passing shots from way back there.
So the tension mounts. Edberg taking a little extra time.
Well, that was a really
5-4.
tentative backhand slice there from Ivan.
So the crowd now really winning or willing their warriors on. It's Edberg with 2 serves. Should he win them, he'll win this tie break and the second set.
Quiet, please.
That's a quality second serve from Edberg. Under such pressure, it was deep.
6-4, Edberg.
Yeah, you can see Lendl leaning towards the backhand.
So 2, in fact, set points to Edberg. Well, Edberg's going to have to be wary of this. This is the 5th occasion. He must surely be just moving that front foot onto the line.
That's a volley that Edberg could play in his sleep. It really is truly one of the great shots in tennis.
Better than yours, mate?
Much better than mine. Low backhand volley, cross court, plenty of penetration and pace.
So Edberg mixing up that second service pretty well now. Lendl being surprised by a couple of serves to the forehand. Whatever you can do, I can do better, says Lendl.
Well, an excellent return of serve coming over right at the feet. He had to half volley that. Notice how Lendl decides to take this on the forehand. Felt he had more touch on that side when that ball is low and close to the net.
Well, another superb backhand volley from Edberg. 40-15. Edberg gave Lendl a second hit at the ball, but not a third. Edberg takes the first game of this third set. Lendl trailing love one, third set. So first services into play, first and second set. Lendl just dropping marginally there in that second set. 67 and 62% respectively. And when the first serves go into play, you can see in the second set, not doing as well, Lendl, so that'll tell you that Edberg is returning much better in that second set. But only when he gets his racket to the ball. 2 consecutive aces from Lendl, 7 in all. Well, that looked perhaps long, but it's called good. So 3 aces in a row to Lendl.
Well, Edberg here on the replay really doesn't attempt to make a return here. He felt it was out.
Well, Tony, that's one of Ivan's favourites, is it not?
Yes, he got caught with the forehand grip here. An awkward looking return, but just look at the preparation, how well he stays down on the shot. Well, from about halfway through the second set, the Edberg serve really has picked up the depth, the speed, the variation.
Yeah, that was always on. Edberg just a little close to the net. Lendl saw it.
15-13.
Yeah, well, just watch how close Edberg does close in after the volley here. He's very, very close to the net.
Well, Edberg yet to serve an ace in this match, but serves such as that last one are as good as an ace.
40-30.
Well, Lendl got the return he wanted. The half volley from Edberg was quite a good one. Lendl just unable to get under the ball to put enough topspin on that one.
So Edberg with the favourite backhand cross-court whole serve. He's leading 2-1, final set.
The Lendl serve, the high ball toss, the full extension, and really the snap of the racket head there through the ball.
Well, a good game for Lendl there to win a love game, because I just had a feeling he was losing the plot here in this opening of the third set. After losing the second set in a tie break, he started to get a bit frustrated and started to even hit the ball harder than normal. And a couple of shots, passing shots, he didn't really have to go for that speed, Lendl, and I felt the frustration was getting to him. So that game will help.
Fifteen left.
Only the first ace for Edberg in almost an hour and 50 minutes of tennis. Backhand from Edberg, that celebrated shot. He leads 3-2, third set. Two, three. Well, that's a little by-play there as we look at the passing shot here from Edberg.
Yeah, good forehand pass from Edberg. He does seem to hit his forehand a little better on the run. That was a good one.
That byplay at the change of ends has turned the crowd, I think, towards Edberg. It was fairly evenly divided in the match, but now they're behind the Swedes.
Well, just an unbelievable forehand here. You can see Edberg is in good position here, but just beaten by sheer pace and depth.
More to this match than just money and computer points too. There's a lot of pride in this match. This is their first meeting since Edberg became the #1 player in the world.
A good play from Edberg there. After getting the deep return, he knew Lendl would have to back off, get back well behind the baseline. He'd have to come up with a big pass.
From Edberg, that forehand just flicked the net on the way over, but it was good enough to attain the break. And what a comeback from the Swedes. He looked down and out in the second set, but he came back in a tie break and now has 4-2.
Boy, Edberg has hit that serve well today. That one wide to the backhand in that second court. A good, neat first volley here. Not trying to hit an outright winner, just trying to get himself in good position. Lendl went for the lob. Edberg picked it.
Well, the first serve from Edberg is telling the story in this third set. He leads 5-2. 2-5.
40 love.
Lendl steadies himself. He lost his cool a bit in the early stages of this third set.
Game one.
Well, we're up to the pressure time now for both players.
Edberg
Edberg
leads 5 games to 3.
with the chance to serve for the match, and that's been the improvement in the Swedes' play. His serve as the match has gone on. Look at that, through the first, second and third sets, 52%, 55, and now a high 79% of first serves in. It's really negated the return of Lendl.
Well, Edberg going at the body of Lendl on this
Lovely
return of serve. Lendl just moves out of his way, takes it on the forehand side.
Oh, yes.
Love 30.
Very short, compact swing there on the return. He didn't need to create any pace. He got that from the Edberg serve. The main thing was to get that well in front.
Well, just when it looked safe for the Swedish player, Edberg, he's now down 3 break points. A couple of misburst serves and some excellent returns from Lendl. Crowd really
15.
getting into this match now. They've taken sides. I think the majority are with Edberg. Not by much, though.
Once again going at the body, and whereas in the first point of this service game, Lendl elected to run around the backhand and take it on the forehand side. That time he got caught. Ball swinging into his body. The further he went on that backhand, the closer it got to his body.
Well, you can see how excited Edberg is about getting the first serve in and how important it is to him.
Juice.
Just 2 points from the match.
Well, Lendl would have been definitely looking for a backhand there. Edberg has hit that wide serve so well this match, but that time going with a surprise down to the forehand.
Advantage London.
Well, an awkward looking forehand volley there. There was no pace on the return. He really had to punch it firmly. He made a mess of it.
Well, I imagine Edberg feels like he's looking down the barrel of a gun when he misses that first serve and gives Lendl the chance to look at a second serve like that. The ball was there to be hit.
Good length on that second serve, though, considering the situation.
And again, the serve into the body, jamming Lendl.
Advantage Edberg.
And that brings up match point. And a chance to move into tomorrow's final. What a fighting performance. He has come back from a set down to win this semi-final match. (3-6, 7-6, 6-3). And the crowd acknowledging a marvellous fight by the Swede. Really a high standard of tennis. And, well, Tony, a real fight there from Edberg to come back from that set down.
Oh, yes, and what a serving exhibition from midway through that second set. That was always going to be the key to the match, just how well Edberg could serve and how well Lendl could return a serve. And in the end, the Edberg serve won out.
And no doubt a disappointed Ivan Lendl leaving the court. He really looked to have the match won when he won the first set. Things going comfortably in the second. But then the serve from Edberg improved. The beginning of the match, Edberg had a low percentage of first serves, but it certainly improved towards the end of the match. And now we're going to hear from the winner with Tim Webster.
And ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Stefan Edberg. Well, firstly, thank you for some very fine Saturday afternoon entertainment, Stefan.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And it was a really tough match. I think I was a little bit lucky to win this match. And, you know, I worked hard and I never gave up and ended up pretty good.
I think that's 18 times you've played him. Does it get any easier?
No, definitely not. No, I think every time we play, they're always tough matches right from the beginning, and we both know each other's game pretty well, and we know what's going to happen. It's just the one who wakes up feeling the better in the morning, I think.
So, see you back here in 5 minutes for the doubles?
How about 10?
Whatever you like.
All
Stefan
right,
Edberg, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's a very happy man there, the #1 player in the world, confirming that position yet again, defeating the former #1 player, Ivan Lendl, in a match which lasted over 2 hours. And so as Edberg leaves the court, we're